Hi, I'm Chef Jack, accompanied by,
Chef Landon,
and today we're going to be making.
some pan-seared steak.
Alright, so the first step is to turn on the grill. And while Landon's doing that, I'm going to cut our red bell pepper.
Nice. So for this, we're going to have our grill on to medium to high heat. So first step, when you want to get the steak prepped, you're going to take this, our gloves of course. You're going to be taking the steak and you're going to pat it dry with paper towels and also season with sea salt and black pepper. So let's take this here. So we're going to pat this dry. We're patting this dry because it reduces the oil spills and it leaves with a better cooking, so it will turn out a lot better and more evenly cooked. And seasoning is kind of self-explanatory. While season this, let's might as well get some oil on here. Make that around all the way so it's all the way on the pan. Make sure the seasoning's all the way through and coat it on the steak so you get a nice flavor when it's done.
Alright, so after you have your red pepper julienne cut, you're going to want to mince your garlic. Alright, so now that our steak is patted dry and seasoned, we're going to add that to our pan. I'm going to throw a little bit more olive oil in there. And make sure to always lay it away from your face. And he's going to take over while I wash my hands.
So for sauteing this, we are going to cook four minutes on each side, or until done, and then on the 1 minute on each, corner side to make sure it's all the way cooked through, even on the side. Just kind of move this around, incorporate it everywhere on the pan. Take this over, Chef Jack.
Turn it down a little bit. One of the really great things about steak is marbling, and this steak has pretty good marbling, but if any of you have ever seen a Wagyu steak, they have very good marbling. That's what they specialize in. Japan has a huge industry in Wagyu steaks. And if you ever get the opportunity to try one, you definitely should. They are amazing.
Another good thing about steaks, and particularly searing steaks, is it's an alternative to grilling it. If it's cold outside, maybe you can do this inside. It's pretty easy to make, like you say here. Just get a pan, put some oil on that, and start sauteing it. It's a lot easier, but it'll still taste good too, and without being outside to say to grill or smoke it.
We're going for a perfect medium rare. So on your thermometer, that's going to be at 135 degrees. You want to cut that in half.
Cool fun fact about this steak here. The steak, sure it's American cuisine, but it's more originated in Italian and Northern Italian cuisine. So it's pretty something cool to know, as it is cultured in American. So
One of the huge things to a really great steak is the crust, which you can see here. We're getting a pretty good crust on this steak. Gives it a lot of the flavor. So. Yeah, you can have it.
be adding a little more oil in here to help the cooking process.
Wait. I think it's you want to turn it back on? I don't know how. There. Alright, so I'm just going to do a quick temperature check here. I want to get into the middle. It looks like we're just coming up on 70 degrees, so we'll let that stay in there for a little bit longer.
Reason why we chose this recipe is pretty easy to make. A lot of people like steak. You'll see in a lot of restaurants. There's restaurants specifically for steaks, which are steakhouses. And this is pretty easy to make and pretty easy to demonstrate here. And I think it'll taste pretty good as well.
of the other things that you can do is really utilize the edge of your pan to cook that edge of the steak. Adds more surface area and it will cook faster.
Now, if you look on the steak, you can see all the blackening, all the char lines. You can tell it's pretty well cooked right there. See a nice crust building up there. Like I said before, this looks like it's about ready to be done on each side. We're going to be flipping it to the sides and cooking it 1 minute each side to make sure it's fully incorporated all the way through. Make sure the internal temperature reaches that 135, like I said. We'll be turning the pan up a little more and speed up the cooking process a bit. Get it all the way to fully cook through and get it done a little faster.
Here, you want to hold it up and I'm going to fold it from the side. Yeah. I can get it right now. Yeah. Here, hold on. Turn on a little bit.
Yeah, I'll get it. Flip right there.
Looks like we're at about 125 degrees, so we're almost there. A couple more seconds and we should be good to go.
Looks like it has a nice brownish caramel color, so I think it will taste pretty good up there, don't you think, Chef Jack?
I would have to agree. Alright, so we're going to turn it down to a simmer. Barely any heat. On that. And we are going to throw in our butter, our garlic, and our 1 leaf of fresh rosemary. Really going to incorporate the steak with that butter and that rosemary, garlic. Get all the juices flowing.
So essentially what we're doing here, it's called basting. We're melting the butter, get it all into the pan, and we're going to occasionally take it, kind of mixture it provides, and scoop it up onto it like Chef Jack's here doing right here. And this is a brush we can use to help it out. This will get all the juices and let it onto the top of the steak, let it simmer and cook into it. So you get a nice juicy, in this case, a butter rosemary taste.
So I'm going to take the brush here and just put all those juices on top of that steak and really incorporate it into the meat.
Just about done. It's at 125 last check, and it should be 135, so should
And then
just
we'll
be
tent that on top. So tenting really incorporates all this flavor and Really helps out a lot. So we're going to turn our stove off. We'll just do one final temperature check, just to double check that we cooked for long enough. Looks like we are good to go. So what we're going to do is put that on our plate. Wrap tinfoil around it and leave that for 5 minutes. And then we'll come back and cut it open and do the final reveal.
Make sure to clean up the work area after this. Get a little messy if all the juices flying all over the place too.
What was that? Okay.
Just cut it a little bit.
Okay.
Look at this.
All right. So right now we are going to cut the steak. So we're going to get our serrated knife, and we have our steak right here. And we're simply just going to
See how it cuts so nicely? It's a nice and tender piece of cut here.
there's our steak.
To complement this steak, the peppers, the red peppers that Chef Jack cut here, we can use them to plate the dish and make it more colorful as it complements the reddish meat that the red and brown that we have there.
You don't have to use all the peppers. And there you go. Steak and red peppers. I'm Chef Jack.
I'm Chef Landon.
Peace out. See you on the next one. Tasty Tiger.